and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Lauren, filmmaker extraordinaire, and I cannot snap apparently with this hand, but whatever. Today I'm going on a date with myself to lacma because my romantic life has been a bit sad of late. But that's fine, because I can still do fun things with myself. Not by myself, with myself. Fancy elevator. I parked in the parking garage because although I could have maybe found free street parking like a little further out, I'm treating myself, okay? And I feel more comfortable parking in the garage, and now I get to ride up this little elevator thing, and then hopefully I'm a little late, but I think it'll be fine before I take it. Yes. Got my sticker and my map, so I am super legit and riding the escalator up. I definitely walked the wrong spot first, but luckily there was a sign that said to go to the welcome kiosk, so welcome kiosk it is. And yeah, time to get the date going. I was immediately inspired by this expressionist painting. It really reminded me of The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which is a film I really enjoy. So I was pretty much excited right off the bat. And then I just found this culty painting really interesting, and like the demonic worship was, I don't know, I found it kind of creepy but fascinating, like in a good way, creepy in a good way kind of thing. And yeah, I was just kind of admiring wacko paintings. I like this guy's really long feet and socks. I thought that was funny. Enjoying the work, enjoying different takes. I personally prefer more traditional paintings or slightly surrealist, maybe impressionism, but not crazy stuff. But lacma has a lot of modern art, and I really took myself to do my best to enjoy that. I am not attempting likeness, but resemblance. I think that is so powerful. I mean, just beautiful. The essence of a person. I love colors. I think that's something I can really still enjoy about a lot of modern, postmodern, and contemporary art, because they can be some of the most vibrant pieces, I see in the modern era. Just because honestly, a lot of older paintings, sometimes they really need a new varnish job, or they just need like kind of a cleaning or restoration, which is kind of a dumb reason to not have a lot of color, but it's a legit reason. Political art is everything from lines to furniture. I just was feeling like kind of in my head, this really reminded me of like the trap of domesticity for some reason. It was like white picket fence, and then like immediately next thing I'm seeing is death, but it's beautiful because she's a flower. And I don't know, I was just like kind of out of my mind, to be honest. I was just feeling like, what is my life coming to? And I don't know, is that what happens? I was like, the substance? I haven't even seen the substance in this painting made me think of the substance. I was stoked to see this. This says this is not a pipe, because it's not a pipe. It's a painting of a pipe. And I just loved it. I had to record it for you guys. I recently had gone to kind of an argument about Rothko, and I became like a Rothko defender in this argument. And I'm not a Rothko defender in real life. I don't like this kind of art that much. Pollock, Rothko, they're just not my vibe. But I found myself defending art because someone had a point to it. There was a purpose in the making of it. It just made me really think about the fact, I don't think I see the world in the wrong way, but I feel like sometimes I see the world in a different way than other people see the world. And I assume, in a sense, everyone sees the world in a different way than everybody else. But sometimes it just feels like I'm the one seeing it the most different. And that's probably literally the most universal human experience. I love talking about art, and I love exploring ideas. I don't know, it made me feel like, will I ever find people that I can have this kind of dialogue with, and they'll be understanding? And then I got into like the weirdest
in this special
kind of
exhibit,
temporary immersive exhibit I've seen in a while. It was called the Prime Meridian, I think, and I honestly don't know why it was called that. Like, I could not tell you. It was dark and kind of eerie, and this kind of old stuff, but it was funny because it's like advanced to the future, but all this stuff is in the past.
Still creepy.
So it was definitely intriguing in that sense, but I was creeped out. And art can be creepy. When I think art makes you think pretty, but it can be emotive and provoking and disturbing as well. Though, of course, like the soup is not disturbing. That's just a classic. I laughed out loud that this had actual size of the Spam. I do wonder how some artists made it. into art with these kind of tones and colors, but I'm also kind of a sucker for big, bold statements and making people think, and I think that's cool. So I just talked to my friend. I was, being just with myself as for crises or whatever, I could just pop out, take care of it, and get back to my vibe. So now I'm gonna look at the next floor art, and then I think it'll be snack time. I really enjoyed this African diaspora exhibit. I thought it was really cool, a great mix of mediums, and definitely worth watching. Definitely worth seeing if you are in the area. Never met a reflective surface I want to try to see myself in. I don't have anything insightful to say about this. I just thought it was very visually interesting. This I had to capture because it says it's New Jersey, and I love me some Jersey representation. I thought this was the most stunning piece of art, and I love the water. I love depictions of water and time. The digital witness exhibit was on 2 different levels, and I thought it was pretty funky. Definitely, obviously, a lot of screens, but really exploring what screens sort of are, how they became, and beyond screens, the digital media and what could be done with it, and how it was initially such a new avenue of exploration and what videos could be and turn into with kind of what we would consider to be Photoshop or After Effects design, but kind of the precursor to those. I don't know, I just thought it was fascinating. And I am also a sucker for old computers because they look so archaic because everything is so thin and slim or whatever. Now it used to be like chunky. And I was super excited to see that The Lord of the Rings made a feature for part of this exhibit and transformation. And such an epic scene because we got Aragorn looking like a king because, duh. And then, of course, the cool ghost army kind of goes through him. I assume it's kind of the transformation with these people and their ghosts and stuff like that. Very also pleased to see stuff about the VFX revolution because my first job out of college was working in a VFX house, though I was very amused by all the Adobe references. And then I realized the exhibit was partially sponsored by Adobe. No matter what, everything we're seeing and witnessing and experiencing has like these lenses and biases. Also, Gollum mention, this made me cackle, because remember how I talked about the whole this is not a pipe painting earlier? Then we have this. I saw the painting, and now I'm seeing the painting like again referenced. I found this hallway just fun to walk down dramatically because of the big panels. My friend had told me about this like Hot Wheels thing, and they're not Hot Wheels, but they are like these little cars that drive around. I timed it pretty well because when I got there were maybe like 15 minutes until the next time they were gonna actually run. So I did a little peek, and then I went to a couple exhibits nearby. They had this cool light fixture exhibit that was kind of a long wall, and it would have been perfect to walk dramatically across, but there were no tripods allowed. So even though I brought my little tripod, I had to try to prop my camera just on the bench. I got like kind of the worst video ever, to be honest, but just pretend that it's me dramatically walking because I was trying to feel at one with the light because I was at one with myself, right? Like I didn't have anyone else to talk to. So it was just me and my thoughts. And it is really cool and fun. And I wanted to try to capture what it's like to be like a solo person at a museum walking. But this was the only spot I could maybe get and still look bad. And then it was time for the cars. It's pretty fun. I'm pretty sure over the course of the half hour, according to the sign that I saw, technically sort of 1,000 cars are driving by overall, which is just really funky, and it's sort of a homage to LA and the traffic and all that stuff, but there's also like the Eiffel Tower and a couple other things that are not in LA that I think just kind of referencing city life in general. Definitely fun. And then I was hungry. I took a little break to get a snack. By snack, it ended up being a burger, but you know what? Why not? Then I went to this exhibit about like Mesopotamian color and art and dye, which was fascinating. And I also found it really refreshing because I had been seeing a lot of contemporary and modern art, and it was nice to see some rocks, some old pots and old paintings, tapestries, designs, this weird dog statue thing. Like, it was just nice to get a little palate cleanser, basically. Sometimes it feels like my whole life needs a palate cleanser, even though I was pretty satisfied post-burger, I must say. And of course, as I said, I can't avoid mirrors or reflective surfaces, and especially not ones that float in the sky. No visit to this area is complete without looking at the lampposts. They are really fun. Well, this pretty much wraps up my little date with myself. Honestly, it's been a good little day. Some unexpected interruptions and food, but I like that. So now it's back to my apartment. Hopefully this video was some sort of interesting mix of art and Lauren's thoughts over the art. But if it wasn't, and you still watched the end, thank you. Thank you so much. And if you did like it, just give it a thumbs up, comment, whatever, and subscribe. Thanks.